and welcome to Apnao Conversations, continuing with our theme of A Girl is Precious. Today we'll be talking with Dr. Farzana Khan, who is the Head of Programs for Operation PeaceMaker, My Choices Foundation. Dr. Farzana has 13 years of experience working with various women and human rights organizations. She is part of national level advocacy efforts to ensure effective implementation of Domestic Violence Act across the country. So people do have this mindset, like girls are expected to do this, boys are expected to do that. But is this discrimination or is this mindset leading to violence against girls?
We are human beings and we are equal. Okay? So if we believe in that, then our thought process, our behaviors, our attitude, everything changes around. If we live in a system which believes that women are inferior and men are superior, so the basic idea and concept is they both are not equal. So when we do not see somebody equal, then that inequality leads to many issues, right? Generally, people say that nowadays there is a no discrimination. Girls are also equally given an opportunity, and here and there, certain small percentage in a rural setup or maybe in an uneducated family, illiterate, poor family, this discrimination happens. But I have a 13 years of experience working with the women and families, and it is across. That is the biggest myth that we need to break. That is not a problem with certain section of the society linked to any poverty or illiteracy. It is across in all the cultures, all the religion, caste, class, geographies. It may vary, intensity and severity may vary in geographies to geographies, culture to culture, but it is across, and it is a United Nations data, it is a government's data, it's a people's lived experiences. So imagine if a girl child, even before taking birth, is considered a burden or unequal, then her life journey is definitely going to be very different and difficult also.
Doesn't this affect the growth and the health of a girl?
Yes, definitely, because as I told earlier also, if we succeed and if it is not allowed to grow, then it affects all your aspect of life. So, for example, if I'm not given an equal opportunity, equal nutrition, so by school dropouts, if you see the rate of school dropout, female are always higher, much more higher compared to boy. So maybe I get till 10th or 12th grade education, but in that gaps again widened, far widened in the professional courses, in the higher studies, because they feel that graduation is enough, and that too not to empower her, not to see her as an equal human being, but to get her married. So if she has a good degree, she there would be a good possible to have a good match. But when the crunch of resources starts, Paul, then the mentality comes upfront. So if I have only 1 lakh rupee and my brother, either my brother can get educated from get an engineering college admission, or I. So who will be preferred in the family?
Of course, the
If I
brother.
have 2 glass of milk, I will get one my brother will get. But if I have only 1 glass, then it is always my brother who is the privileged one.
True.
So this is how we always say, like, the equality is a very, we generally do not understand equality. So if my father has a 10 lakh rupees and he kept 5 lakhs for my brother's higher education and 5 lakhs for my marriage, and he says, I have not discriminated. I had 10 lakhs. I gave 5 to my daughter. I gave 5 to my son. So where is the discrimination? And people say, yeah. He not a single penny he extra gave to the son. So is it equal? So this is how it affects the girls, the potential growth, and the girls learn to be silent, to be submissive. They do not have the confidence to face the world. Many a times when sexual violence happens, rape happens, because the fear that instilled in the mind of the girls, they even were not able to utter a word. And then people say, okay, why rape was happened? Why she has not give back? Why she has not fight back? It's not about physical strength. It's about mental strength, because they were not taught to raise their voices. They were not given opportunity to do sport, to play, to movements. If my movement is restricted, my muscles will not, get stronger. Uh, Life skills are not given to girls to fight, to grow that way. It's just it's a subordination and listening what your family is saying, your father is saying, then your brother is saying, and then your husband is saying, and then your son is saying. So she must be under control of some men throughout her life, from father to son. A girl child, when her mother even not conceived her, the ashirwad, the blessings, the newlywed couples, what they get. Dudho nahao, puto phalo. Means ki prosperity comes, and puto phalo means put, we call the son. So you should have lot of boys. So even I just got married and I'm getting this blessing. So see the mother's, anxiety. If I give birth to a girl child, what is going to happen to me? And then we see, once she's pregnant, maybe if it is a first child, they let her born. But in the second child, because now we are talking about this population control, we can't afford many children, so 2-child norm, or 3-child norm, whatever. So the second child must be a boy. So then the female fetal, right? Okay. So sex selective abortions. So this is at a birth, Paul. And then 0 to 6 years age, which is called infancy, because of if she is born even not uh, killed in the womb, she has a less survival chances because of the neglect, because of the not provided nutrition, healthcare, vaccinations, on all that. So further, that sex ratio gap widened in 0 to 6 years, because that is called child female infanticide in our country and some other South Asian countries. And then neglect, nutritional deficiency. The mother is not allowed to take proper rest. She has to work because she has given child to birth to a girl child. So a lot of discrimination happens to mother also simultaneously. Okay. Correct. And then coming to the childhood. Okay. So in the childhood, what we see, child abuse, child marriages happens in our country. So still it is a practice, and it is a in very much prevalent in our country. In other countries, there is a female genital mutilations, because everything revolves around women body. So in the childhood, they literally cut her clitoris and sew it, so that she cannot have sex, and if she does, she do not have a sexual urge when she is growing in her adolescent and puberty. That's a very horrible, because majority of the time these practices are done by the local quacks. The girls bleed and die, and with infections, with it's horrible. It's horrible. And majority of the time it is practiced in Africa, other countries also. Trafficking, as young as 9 years old, 9-year-old girls are sold into sex slavery. So that childhood. Now coming to the adolescent age, again femicide, female genital mutilations, forced marriages, forced sex, sexual exploitation, trafficking, dating violence. These all happens in that adolescent. That adolescent age is, and I'm talking just about purely violence, even not discrimination.
Sure.
So the discrimination lead all these violence. And then in reproductive age, we all know domestic violence, dowry related deaths. If they are widow at that age, or divorced, single women, you can multiply their abuses and violence.
Yeah.
Political violence happens if there is any kind of war or any pandemic, any disaster, whether it's a natural or man-made. The women are the first, girls are the first who bear the burden. In elderly age, again, they do not have economic empowerment. They do not have the properties on their name. So nobody cares really. The women are most likely to die with neglect. They are forced to leave the house, no care, nothing, because if they are widow, they are single, they are elderly. And in many parts of our country, there is a one practice people rarely know about that called witch hunting. So elderly widow or elderly women, so just to grab her property, they just declare her as a witch by some local, that called ojha or quacks, and then they actually declare her as a witch, and they just remove her from the village. They socially outcast her. Pre-birth till her death, we see the various forms of violence and abuse. And why these violence and abuses happen? Just because I am a woman. I have to pay dowry because I am a woman. I go through genital, mutilation because I am a female. I get a sex selective abortion because I am a male. So where is the quality and where is the ability? It's just because I was born in a sex which is female. I go through all this. So it's not about women only, Paul. It's also about liberating our men and our boys.
Correct.
And then only we can have the healthy society, healthy relationships, when a boy is not burdened to prove himself. A girl is not burdened to suffer in silence and face violence and abuse, right?
Well, thank you so much, ma'am, for such valuable input. It all starts with us. Change starts with us, in our families first. Let us not treat this as something happening somewhere far away from us. Gender bias is all around us. Let's see within and ask ourselves, what can I change? What habit can I change? What thought can I change within myself? Now, once we've conquered our thinking, let's work with our family members. Can we influence them to change their thought processes and actions? Next, can we work with our friends, colleagues, and extended family? Let us each take responsibility for their change, for our change. Someone said, you have to be the change you want to see. Come, let's start this trend. I will look at everyone equally. I will not discriminate against anyone because of their sex or gender. I will fight for equality. Friends, from my own point of view and from Apnao Foundation, I want to say we will strive and we will work hard until we see a society that will not discriminate on the basis of sex and gender. I urge you to be with us on this journey. Thank you for watching today. Please continue to share our videos and keep the conversation going. Until next time, this is Pearl Ganta from Apnao Conversations. Nayi Sonch, Naya Jeevan. Apnao.